Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Crypto Ginger here. Just wanted to quickly go over some of the more recent news, and of course, I will say, obviously, there's a substantial amount of news every single day when it comes to cryptocurrencies, and of course, it's always easier to narrow it down to your favorite currency, your digital asset. However, on a broader spectrum, I think that what's happening right now in this entire ecosystem, we're really seeing a substantial amount of changes happening. Now, of course, it's not really affecting the price point as far as something absolutely positive, but I think that that's because of the legality parts of it when it comes to, for example, the SEC of the United States. We're still waiting for some regulatory clarity. When that takes place, I'm not exactly sure, but there's always hints of the possibility of us seeing this in Q4, for example. I know that we'd heard maybe in Q3, but really a lot of this stuff is up in the air until we see something very substantial. What we can do is take a lot of this news and kind of narrow it down, make some speculation as to when we might start hearing more in the ways, again, of regulatory clarity. And of course, I think that it's always helpful when you're hearing of the bigger entities talking more about what they are trying to do when it comes to cryptocurrencies or their involvement of digital money. I had mentioned briefly in a couple of videos how IMF is really ramping it up when it comes to being more outspoken about their opinions towards cryptocurrencies or really digital money in its entirety. But really, what took place recently was an IMF paper came out, and of course we've had many people in the XRP community kind of narrow down that information. And I want to say that here on xrprightnow.com you can actually get a quick reference as far as the new IMF paper that was released, and the talking point is the rise of digital money. Now, I did briefly mention this in I believe my last video or the prior to that, but nonetheless, this right here is a quick summary as far as, again, what was in that paper. I'm not exactly sure who runs the site XRP right now, but I would highly suggest going through here and kind of giving this a read, because again, it really helps illustrate what is taking place from the IMF standpoint. Now, we got to keep in mind as well, some big things were happening with IMF when it comes to them losing Christine Lagarde in September. She will be going from IMF, as far as the head of the IMF, to become the head of the European Central Banking System. So really, we are having some interesting moves taking place with some of the higher ups, and again, we're getting some papers released from the IMF regarding the rise of digital money. So that right there should say a lot in itself when it comes to what we should be seeing in the near future for how currencies are going to be treated and how the old fiat system is going to be merging into the digital realm. Now, of course, again, I don't want to harp too much on this. I just figured that this would be a great read for everybody. Again, it's very quick, not very long. Just to kind of give you a quick reference here, you can see that what the author of this particular site specifies, that they link the document below, and of course they go through a process of reviewing it, kind of hinting on some of the more interesting aspects of the actual paper itself. They go as far as talking about the 5 different means of payments, where they talk about cryptocurrencies and central bank money. They also talk about how the IMF believes that there's a major adoption of e-money that could be very rapid, and I would imagine that right there is going to be the case when more banks get themselves onboarded with this new digital money system. And of course, you can kind of hint around what digital money system is supposed to be implying. My guess is that it's really going to be incorporating a lot more in the way of digital assets, but of course, that's just my take on this here. You can actually make that judgment call yourself. But as you can see, again, it's not very long. It's a very quick read, just a very good summary here on XRP right now. So again, whoever the author is of this site, I definitely thank you for narrowing this down and summarizing everything. And if you are interested in reading that, I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, since I briefly hinted on the topic of the SEC going in, giving some sort of regulatory approval or different types of clarity on the top performing cryptocurrencies underneath Bitcoin, it's been a waiting game, and of course, it's very interesting to see that just recently they gave approval for 2 different crypto tokens, and these are, from what I'm gathering, 2 new tokens here. The first is Blockstack PBC. This is definitely a company that we've been hearing circulating, at least within the XRP community, different content creators. The second one is YouNow, and of course, it looks as though they were approved almost back to back there on around July 10th. So very interesting, again, that we're seeing the SEC give approval for these 2 different tokens that not really people know the names of or have really heard of. And of course, the question now remains, Where does this lead all the other cryptocurrencies and digital assets with this particular approval here, with these two almost no-name tokens here being approved again from the SEC? My guess is that if we see success with this, we are likely to see some success with some approvals from the SEC for, again, all those other cryptocurrencies and digital assets, more importantly for XRP. That's a very big talking point, has been for quite some time. My guess is also, since we have so many banks and financial institutions and partners that have been created for Ripple, and the talking point that a lot of these companies want to utilize XRP, for example, which makes a use case out of XRP, or whether or not these institutions want to just simply use XRP, they're waiting for that regulatory clarity. So this right here is possibly even a good sign, seeing again that the SEC is now kind of ramping it up, giving some approval to the public of two different tokens, seeing where this goes. And again, hopefully this right here will lead into more approvals for those top performing cryptocurrencies and digital assets out there. A couple other things I want to go over as well. So this next bit of information I want to give credit to XRP Crypto Wolf for. He is a definite follow, guys. Go ahead and give him a follow at XRP Crypto Wolf. He likes to make sure people in the community are alerted to a lot of the news that we might overlook, might miss, just because of how much we are actually oversaturated with every single day. But here's an article that he recently alerted to everyone. Is talking about the Indian government breaking silence on crypto regulations, and of course he narrows it down, sums it up very nicely, specifying that the government confirmed that the report with recommended crypto regulations has already been submitted by the interministerial committee tasked with drafting with regulations. And of course this is a very important move when it comes to India, because we know that the talking point has always been India has had a ban on cryptocurrencies. They had a major focus on blockchain and the distributed ledger technology, but again, cryptocurrencies was a major ban in that country. But we're seeing now they're breaking their silence and they're opening up for crypto regulations. So again, a very big move for India and crypto. And of course, we have another linked article from XRP Crypto Wolf here, where we can see that Ripple's XRapid partner Bitso is the first regulated cryptocurrency company in Latin America. He actually again narrows it down, summarizing by saying Bitso seals the distributed ledger technology license from Gibraltar regulator. Gibraltar Financial Service Commission framework specifically evolved to regulate businesses in the distributed ledger technology. So this is very, very big news. The article itself is titled Mexican Crypto Exchange Bitso seals the DLT license from Gibraltar regulators. So this is again very, very big news when it comes to at least the Latin America standpoint of cryptocurrencies, and of course them getting more involved with Ripple, and of course becoming an XRapid partner. This is absolutely huge. So again, a very big move when it comes to what's happening for Ripple. They are definitely expanding, guys. Whether we're seeing this affect the XRP price point or not, really, if you look at all the cryptocurrencies, they're in a very negative trend right now. That's just simply the case when it comes to what's happening with the markets. And even Bitcoin itself has had a negative trend. So all of them have been negatively affected, but we're seeing at least Ripple making some more grounds when it comes to their reach. The companies that want to get involved with XRapid and creating that partnership there. So again, very big move for Bitso. We could see this right here take off for Latin America and be a very substantially good thing for them, and even Ripple the company. I would imagine that this right here is just simply going to allow for even more companies to get partnered up using XRapid as well. So thank you again, XRP Crypto Wolf. A couple other things I want to quickly go over as well. So within the last couple of days, even weeks now, we've been hearing from the U.S. Congress. We've been hearing from different types of political heads that are talking about their stance on Facebook's Libra coin, and of course, we're actually hearing how outspoken some of these guys are regarding their approval for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Even if we did hear that President Trump was not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, we are definitely hearing from those who are representatives as far as taking political seats and of course having a major political stance. They are speaking out as far as approving and being for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Again, just not the Libra coin. And here we have Kevin McCarthy speaking out. This is actually something that was being talked about regarding an issue that happened to be more of a political situation with Nancy Pelosi, for example. But someone in the media actually asked the question about Libra, and of course Kevin McCarthy talks about how he's not a fan of the Libra Libra coin, but he is absolutely pro Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. This is actually a 24-second clip there if you want to take a look at it. I posted this. I just found it very interesting that he was absolutely adamantly about speaking his opinion on, again, being pro Bitcoin and pro cryptocurrencies, but not pro Libra at all. So I just found it very interesting. We're seeing a lot more of this. Be on the lookout for this kind of talking point when it comes to different types of political figures and their approval for Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, because that's just only going to push that in a very good direction. So again, take a quick look at that there. One last thing I want to quickly go over as well, and this right here I believe, at least for all of you guys, would be a really nice treat, especially if you like to see deep dives into different things that happen for XRP and Ripple the company. And if you'd like to do deep dives on what's happening in the cryptocurrency space, more importantly with Ripple and XRP, since you're part of this community here, then I would highly suggest giving Green Eggs and Ham a follow. He is definitely someone who likes to connect a lot of dots that have been overlooked. Of course, there's been a substantial amount of news that we've gotten from Ripple and their affiliations with all these companies across the globe, but a lot of it has been overlooked as far as the dots being connected there. And of course, again, Green Eggs and Ham, or better known as Sam I Am, as far as his YouTube channel, you can find him To the Lifeboats. Definitely give him a follow. He actually leaves a link here for his latest video where he's connecting some major dots because of someone in the community going by the name @yoyo762-42706. So again, I would highly suggest giving this video here a quick watch. I think it's about 35 minutes long, but it's full of detailed connecting of the dots. Again, Sam is absolutely fascinating when it comes to his research and what he's doing when it comes to connecting the dots. I think you'll find this video absolutely fascinating with what he's actually researched. Some of it you might already know, but of course a lot of it you might not know as well. So again, give him a quick follow. Find his channel here. Again, it's To the Lifeboats on YouTube, and watch his latest video. It is absolutely amazing when it comes to some of the dots he's connected there. A lot of the times I thought that I was connecting some of the dots just simply because of what I've heard from him and of course other people in the community, but this guy, seriously, he's connected even more dots. So I just think it's really fascinating, guys, what we're seeing here on an expansive level for Ripple the company, and of course a lot of things that have been taking place under the radar, under the hood of the car. This major engine that Ripple's running here, they are definitely doing it, and of course I would imagine that we're going to hear even more news when it comes to their expansion and their reach to all these banks and financial institutions on a global scale. So again, give Green Eggs and Ham a follow there, watch his video, and let me know what you think about that in the description or the comment section below as well. Outside of that, guys, thank you so much for watching these videos and of course taking the time to be a part of this channel. If you are new to this channel and you like what you see, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button. I definitely understand. It's not for everybody, but nonetheless, there is a substantial amount of news out there, and I just want to make sure that we're kind of getting this all circulated together so we're all on the same page. Outside of that, guys, thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.